Since it's so cold out today, I thought I would give you something from the Great North. This is a Canadian horror story by Robert W. Service called The Cremation of Sam McGee. It was written in 1907, and it was a very popular staple on Canadian radio for over 30 years. I will caution you, there's one obsolete Canadian slang term in this poem. The word is marge. Anyone know what marge is? It means edge. So with that in mind, The Cremation of Sam McGee. Good light, please. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who toil for gold. The Arctic trails, they know strange tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was the night on the marge of Lake Labarge. I cremated Sam McGee. Now, Sam McGee was from Tennessee, where the cotton blooms and blows. Why he left his home in the south to roam, to the pole, God only knows. He was always cold. The land of gold seemed to grip him like a spell, though he'd often say, in his homely way, that he'd sooner live in hell. On a Christmas day, we were mushing our way over the Dawson Trail. Talk of your cold, through your parka's fold, it'd stab you like a driven nail. Should your eyelids close, then your lashes froze, till sometimes you couldn't see. It wasn't much fun, but the only one to whimper was Sam McGee. That very night, as we lay packed tight in our robes beneath the snow, and the dogs were fed, and the stars overhead, they were dancing heel to toe. He turned to me, and Cap, said he, I'll cash in this trip, I guess. And if I do, I'll ask that you not refuse my last request. Well, he seemed so low that I couldn't say no. And I heard him say with a moan, it's this cursed cold, it's got right hold, and it's chilled me to the bone. But it ain't being dead, it's my awful dread of an icy grave that pains. So I want you to swear that foul or fair, you'll cremate my last remains. Well, a pal's last need is a thing to heed. So I swore I would not fail. And we gathered on at the break of dawn. My God, he's ghastly pale. He crouched on his sleigh, and he raved all day of his home back in Tennessee. But before nightfall, a corpse was all that was left of Sam McGee. There wasn't a breath in that land of death, and I hurried horror-driven with a corpse half hid that I could not get rid of because of a promise given. It was lashed to the sleigh, and it seemed to say, you may tax your brawn and brains. Ah, but you promised true. Now it's up to you. Cremate those last remains. Well, a promise made is a debt unpaid, and the trail has its own stern code. In the day to come, though my lips were numb, in my heart how I cursed that load. In the long, long nights, by the lone firelights, with my huskies gathered round in a ring, they howl their woes to the nameless snows, but dear God, I loathed that thing. And every day, my serious clay, and every day, my serious clay, forgotten to warm. And every day, my serious clay did heavy and heavier grow. Yet on I went, though my dogs were spent, and my grub was getting low. Then the trail went bad, and I went half mad. But I swore I'd not give in, and I'd often sing to that wretched thing, and it'd harken back with a grin. Then I came to the marge of Lake Labarge, where a derelict ship there lay. It was jammed in the ice, and I saw in a trice it was called the Alice May. And I looked at it, and I thought a bit. Then I glanced at my frozen chum. Then here, said I with a sudden cry, is my crematorium. Some planks I tore from the cabin floor, and I lit the boiler fire. Some coal I found that was lying around, and I stacked my fuel up higher. The flames, they soared as the boiler roared, such a blaze you seldom see. And I burrowed a hole in the glowing coal, and I stuffed in Sam McGee. Then I took a hike, for I did not like to hear him sizzle so. And the heavens scowled, and the huskies howled, and the wind began to blow. It was icy cold, but the hot sweat rolled down my cheeks, though I don't know why. And the greasy smoke, like an inky cloak, went streaking through the sky. I do not know how long in the snow I stood in grisly fear, but the stars came out, and they danced about ere again I ventured near. Though sick with dread, I bravely said, I'll just take a peep inside. I'm sure he's cooked. It's time I looked. And the door I opened wide. And there stood Sam, looking cool and calm, in the face of a furnace roar. And he wore a smile you could see for a mile. And he said, please, shut the door. It's warm in here, but I sadly fear you'll let in the cold and storm. Since I left Lone Tree down in Tennessee, this is the first time I've been warm. There are strange things done in the midnight sun by the men who toil for gold. The Arctic trails, they know strange tales that would make your blood run cold. The northern lights have seen queer sights, but the queerest they ever did see was that night on the marge of Lake Labarge. I cremated Sam McGee. Madam.